Hey guys, I'm Kambra Potter,
And I am Rob Day.
and we are here at the 2019 WGA Awards.
Oh, yeah, and it's such an exciting time because you get to see the people who actually start in the movie making and TV making room, the writers.
I really think that the writers don't get enough respect. They're the ones that are putting their thoughts and ideas on paper, and I just think it's incredible what they do, and I really admire their work. So I'm excited to be here. How about you, Rob?
I'm excited to be here too because, and this is what makes this awards show so special, because you get to honor the people from the ground floor who really start the process of making the shows and movies that we like to see.
As a writer, you're used to working behind the scenes, and I have written a live TV show, the National Memorial Day concert, for many years, and so I am used to writing speeches for other people to give. I write Colin Powell's speech. I wrote a speech for Alice and Janney last summer for Memorial Day, and so to be in the front and to have to read it off the teleprompter is very different. I'm used to being on the other side, but it's fun.
I feel like I've kind of come full circle, and in between I've written everything else, comedies, dramas, single cam, multicam, movies, books, but now I'm back here at Sketch Variety, and it's really kind of fun.
I grew up watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and I mean, obviously I want to be a millionaire too, but how did the writers come up with the questions?
Oh, that's a good question. I think each of our writers probably has their own technique. I think sometimes, some have told me they'll just go about their daily lives, and as they go to Starbucks or whatever they're going about, they'll be like, hey, that would make a great question, and they'll just write it down, and then when they get back in front of their computer, they'll write it up. Other ones, I'm sure they probably surf the web and just try to find stuff, and I think what's most important to them is finding stuff we haven't seen a million times before, coming up either with a brand new question or at least a new angle to attack it with, that type of thing.
If I have to give advice to any other youngsters out there, they're coming, they try to be actors, they try to follow their dream. Please don't complain. Work, do your job, get on the horse and write yourself. Because at the end, as Marlene Dietrich said a long time ago, I'm not gonna thank anybody. I did it myself.
That's beautiful.
That's all they have to do. Stop asking. Take it, and those who ask and complain, go around them and get your job done. I did it myself. I came here 29 years ago. No word of English, from Eastern Communist Bulgaria. $112 in my pocket. No friends, no relatives, in the middle of Knoxville, Tennessee.
Oh man.
Yay.
You're making me tear up.
No, that's the way it was. I worked for $3.27 an hour in Smoky Mountains, Gatlinburg, washing dishes, then flipping pizzas, and here I am today.
You're just moments away from the award show starting, and I know I'm excited to find out who some of the award winners are tonight, but let me tell you, this red carpet has been one of the most interesting interviews that I've conducted. I just interviewed a clown. That's right. A real live clown. It was pretty awesome, pretty entertaining, and I can't wait to share it with you all. So be sure to stay tuned and subscribe to That's My Entertainment. Here with Puddles, Pity Party. That sounds sad. Is that sad? We don't like sad. Can we say happy? Well, I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy that you took the time to stop and interact with me. Can you give a wave for That's My Entertainment followers? There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Good luck tonight to you, sir. What does this feel like for you?
I'm just so excited to be nominated. I come here from photography, from directing. It's the first time I've had a written by credit, so it's just so exciting to be kind of acknowledged as a writer. I think writing is something that in my films, in my photography, it's always there, but it's not explicit, and this was the first time where in a way I had to kind of grow and become a writer to make this movie, so it was really exciting.
I play George. I'm the bass player in the Don Shirley trio. Don Shirley, of course, is played by Mahershala Ali. Viggo Mortensen plays his driver, so I get to drive the other car. There's two cars in the movie. I'm in the other car, and it's a lot of fun to be along for the ride and to to see the ups and downs that these two go through as they go on this tour of the United States and through the South.
Do you have a favorite scene?
I mean, personally, my favorite scene in the entire movie is when Vigo and I, when Tony and I are standing outside of the plantation, and we're kind of looking and watching him, and he says, "I don't know how we can shake their hands." Originally in the script, I just kind of looked at him and shrugged my shoulders, and he was like, "I don't know how he does it either." But then over the course of it, the line where Vigo says that where Tony says he's gonna pee on the floor, I say, "Don't do that," very straight, and it's good advice because you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't just pee on the floor. It was my favorite scene in the whole movie because it gave us a chance to do a little improv. We had a lot of fun. Peter Farrelly got to put a joke in the movie, which was cool because, let's be honest, he's the greatest comedy director of all time. So working with him, having a chance just to make a couple of jokes in his movie, having a chance to make him laugh, I've accomplished one of my life's goals.
Wow. Well, guys, we're just moments away from the awards starting, and I am really excited to find out who the award winners are going to be tonight. There's so many nominees that, I think they're all deserving. There's some great films, great TV shows, great animated series, documentaries that all these writers are nominated for, and it's a lot of work I can't imagine what goes into writing.
It's an amazing process because, you got to think from concept to creation, all the different drafts. These guys make an incredible amount of work, and then we get to enjoy the final product.
And I think that sometimes the writers are not appreciated enough. I just really am honored to be here with them and to celebrate their excellence because they really deserve all the accolades because they're the ones putting those ideas on paper, and
right.
It's the actors that bring them to life, and it's such a team and a collaboration, which is the beauty of filmmaking and of storytelling. But I think the writers, like you said, they're the first step. So,
And this is why tonight's such a special night because they get the honors that they deserve. Just the differences between going to new media as opposed to going to Riverdale. What would be the challenges for that, or the different things that you have to prepare for?
It's I really tried to sort of utilize all the things that I learned on Riverdale and on the long form shows in the short form, because I think it's a really effective storytelling, and I wanted to, at the end of the day, sort of like the biggest takeaway that I've gotten from working in long form TV is really, even when you're doing big mystery pieces, to make sure that you are docking with characters and how they would be reacting to a situation. And that was kind of the core of it for me, just making sure you're not losing sight of, in the Class of Lies case, our two girls, and just making sure you're always docking with them emotionally.
Right. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so
again
much.
on your win. That's
Thank you so much.
Incredible.
I see that you were prepared for the win because you brought your sign. I love that.
Yeah, Sigrid couldn't make it. She has family in town. You know how it is. You got to entertain them. But Sigrid joined the rest of us, Aziz Abu Payne, Joshua Conkle, Joe Trace, and myself around my dining room table. We all worked together. We worked hard. In times of despair, some of people had personal despair that definitely worked their way into the script. People went out, also professional despair. There was professional despair. There was homemade soup. There was cocktail hour, strictly enforced.
I like that role.
What else do we have to say? There was a contest to see who could slip the most arcane literary reference into the script, which was won by Sigrid Gilmer.
Oh, and she's not here to
It was a
float.
$100 cash prize. Yeah.
Good for her.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. No wonder she doesn't show up.
Right?
She
doesn't want to make you feel bad.
Yeah.
That's my entertainment here with Adam McKay. Congratulations on winning for Vice.
Thank you.
Tell me about how the process for writing Vice came along.
It was a lot of research, tons of research, but it was an important era in American history. And I just felt like the story, it shouldn't disappear. So we really worked hard on this movie.
Well, congratulations. Well-deserved award. So you are so welcome, sir. Have a great rest of your day.
So what is it like when you go from the page and then you see the final product with the actors performing it and then seeing the results? So it's like the steps up and then winning awards.
Well, we got a little bit of both because the film's a documentary. We had different segments of interviews. We shot a musical sequence. So really, when we were writing it, we had the outline out, and it was really the best way to tell the story. And that's the first part of your question, I guess.
Yeah.
And David directed the film as well, and edited it. So I'll let her talk about a little bit of that process.
we think they're so different, documentary and narrative fiction films, but they're not really. They don't have to be. You know, it's about a good story, whatever that means. And so what you're doing with a documentary is telling a real, true story. You're kind of writing it after the fact. So we just happen to have some amazing material and found a way to tell this weird story in a way that really connects with people and makes them laugh and cry. And so to see it all actually work and have it have that effect on people is just a beautiful thing.
Now that you're winning an award, you
Yes.
got it. You were recognized. Where does the creative process go from here? Do you start over
Start
again?
over.
Or what?
Yeah, I mean that's yeah. And I'm in the middle of starting over. You know, just bang my head against the wall. So it's very funny to be in the middle of like writer's block, not being able to write and to get awards for
No.
writing. But you know, but I think that's the thing. A creative process I think is always a struggle, and I'm excited to get back and start struggling again.
All right.
Yeah.
And there are so many segments to choose from. I think, yeah, there's one about internet trolls that turns into a story about actual trolls, and it's super fun. But my favorite is probably the one where Joe Randazzo, who's in the show, gets killed, and it's not because I have any malice towards Joe, which I do, but that's unrelated. It's just extremely funny. He plays a weatherman that gets too close to the action, as it were. Anyway,
Was it lightning?
It was like a crazy hurricane. It was the whole thing. It's just there's so much absurdity in the show.
Sorry, I want to mention Ed reacting as he watches footage of a giraffe giving birth is one of my favorite things in the show. So
Ed was wonderful to work with, really great and funny. But one of his few demands was that he get to fake vomit. So we had to find
dry heave. Yeah.
We had to dry heave. So we had to find an excuse. We had to find a sketch that would make Ed dry heave, and it was
an index card that just said dry heave that was on the board, and it was like, find a place for it. We got to find a place.
The show was pitched around Ed wanted to do a show where he dry heaved, and then we came up with this fake news concept and then built an hour-long show around that.
You follow the talent of the talent, you know? And you build a show around what they do best.
And guys, that's my entertainment.
What's yours?